I chose to do my oral history project over my grandmother, Barbara Colwell. Growing up, she and my grandfather lived 3 hours away in a little town called Harper, which is about 30 minutes outside of Fredericksburg. Because of this, I only got to see them a few times a year. This was the first time I've actually sat down and talked to my grandmother about her life, and I enjoyed it very much. The first event that my grandmother said shaped her life was her very first day of school. She said that she was too young to start school in the fall, so her mother enrolled her in school in January. She told me that she still remembers the little room, the little desks, and her little books. She recalls the teacher telling them to open their books to page 35. She told me that she didn't know what to do, but that she opened up her book and was amazed to find page 35. This event shaped my grandmother's life because she loved school. And because she loved school, my dad also loved school. This has shaped my life because I, like my grandmother and dad, love school. My desire to teach kindergarten comes from loving school and wanting to make a lasting impact on my students. I want to give them a positive experience from the beginning of their school career so that they learn to love school and will remember their first day of school just like my grandmother does, still many years later. The second event that shaped my grandmother's life were the 5 years between the time she graduated from college and when she married my grandfather. After graduating from Nixon Clay Business College in 1955, she worked for the DPS in Austin for a year. During this time, she lived in the YWCA and enjoyed getting to know the other women. My grandmother said she was homesick at first, but soon loved being independent. After working for the DPS, she changed jobs and began working for the Texas Employment Commission. She became good friends with a girl from church and moved in with her. She loved living with her roommate Kathy, who later became a bridesmaid in my grandmother's wedding, and their 2 other roommates, Martha and Betty. My grandmother told me about trips that they would take to the lake and down to Austin. They had so much fun just being independent and getting to know each other. This shaped my grandmother's life because it taught her to be independent and to make decisions for herself. She loved my grandfather and was happily married to him for 55 years before he passed away in 2016. But those years before meeting him helped her to discover who she was and what she could do on her own. This has shaped my life because I am a very independent person as well. Right now, I cannot imagine getting married in college because I feel like I would miss out on being able to do what I wanted to do and experience life on my own and to make memories with friends. Hearing my grandmother tell me about events that shaped her life made me realize just how much we have in common and how much I still want to learn from her